Welcome back. This will be a short compilation video because I'm tired of shooting shorts on this. I'm not filming as I work. It's just that's too much hassle. There's time limits once you mix stuff. One, I was asked by someone in a short what filler we're using. That one. And two, I've been going filling. I know it doesn't look it, but that's actually getting quite smooth. This is really starting to come out. Remember all that metal we built up here. It looks like a lot of filler, but it really isn't. This is our second coat here of the actual filler. And I've been trying to keep my line so you can see my tape here. I found one little ding here, so I figured I better take care of that now. And this is almost built up. I've got pinholes I got to fill. I like the shape, but I've got to fill in some pinholes. And this is getting close. There's still a low spot right there. Oh, you guys can't see that right there. I've got mud on the metal to metal up there, waiting for that to cure, and I'll sand that down. My goal today is to actually get the quarters and the deck lid done, and hopefully even into the doors, because we're running out of time. And if I can get the K36 on half the car, that would save me a lot of hassle and product. I don't think I'll be done with the hood and the upper fenders. You can see that I've been working there. In fact, let me bring the car down. Be right back. Okay, car's down now. But you can see, I don't know if you guys remember, but there was all those ripples from when they stamped it. So we're slowly getting those filled in. So that's the first pass there. This is the first pass here, but I ran out of time yesterday and it's still got a ridge right here. So I'm still working that. That's when I was like, you know what? Let's focus on something and get something done. The metal to metal is cured. You can see it right here. And every time I have a little bit of mud left over, I've been just pressing it. You know, only in a couple spots. I really haven't focused much on the hood. So what that metal to metal did was fill in all the little pinholes and make things just a little stronger. So that is this product here. And I got to tell you, this is not the most fun to work with. Also, the little containers come apart, you know. So I poured a bunch into a flux bottle. So yeah, because it's 12 drops to a golf ball footprint of that stuff. And oh my God, your hands just turn, well, you look like the Tin Man. So I'm still got work here. This is close. There's a high spot here, still a little low right there. But like I said, I decided to turn my attention to the rear of the car and the underside. So while it's up, I've been working on everything below the belt line pretty exclusively. Like I said, I'm getting ready to do my first sand here. I've done some sanding on the deck lid. I've got to wet it down and take a look. I think there's another ding here. I was going over some of my footage and I saw a shadow there, so I got to go over that. There's a ding here that I filled, and then remember there was a bunch of them right here. Well, you can see exactly where from where I curled the metal of this. So there's some in here too. I haven't decided if I'm going to bother metalworking any of this, but I don't have to worry about it now. I can do it after it's off the car, so that'll be easier. But yeah, if you recall, this curled way up because, you know, aftermarket garbage is absolutely garbage. So we'll get this ridge knocked. And you can see this is really starting to blend in pretty good. I've got a transition here I'm still working on. And I've been going back and forth to the black car, which currently is sitting right here, and feeling what this Coke bottle feels like right here. And that's been helping me decide how I want to do it. So it's nice to have a make like sample car on hand. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of an update. I'd been doing a couple shorts here and there, but I think instead of that, I'll just turn this on over the day and catch up where we're at. Been out here for Well, 2 hours. I can tell by the podcast. So I've been on here for 2 hours already for today. So we'll be back. We're getting there. So just starting my crosshatch here. I've got a low spot. Well, you can see it right there. See where it's still kind of light, and a high spot here, but I've got a couple more low spots here. So there's a little more filler going there. This feels great now. And I've got to knock that side down. I knocked this one down, and hopefully you can see that this is a lot closer than it was before. So this is really getting there. I got some pins to fill in, but the shape is really coming in now. Ooh. Okay, I gotta put a piece of tape there so I don't forget. And I haven't sanded that yet. It's still hardening. And I did close the hood. So at some point we'll get back over here, but we're going to try to make this transition as nicely as it can. You know, it doesn't have to be perfect. You know, I've seen an awful lot of cars and the hood's never quite exactly perfect, but I'd like it to look as nice as my skill set can get it. I think I gotta drop that bumper a little. You know, we got all that plastic underneath. It must be setting it up a little as this side. That side's not bad. So it's kind of where we're at. Sanding and sanding and vacuuming and wiping and sanding and vacuuming and wiping. I mixed up a small batch and just spread along the seam here. We'll get that sanded down again here shortly as soon as it cures. I just want to see, you know, what I'm looking at here. What I don't want to do is have too many high spots. So we just mixed up a small batch, spread it out. Once it's dry, I'll get it knocked down and we'll see what's left. And remember, we had that ding right there. I got that filled. So this is getting pretty close back here, I think. Okay, we knocked that last coat down. And now I'm getting to the point where I'm pinpointing things, because most of this feels pretty good. But I've got work right here, which is why the tape. I know there's a low spot there. There's a pin here. I do still have a low spot here, like I've been showing you. But I got to take care of it at some point. Got to sand the deck lid. That should be the last one on that. And then I just finished this, so I haven't gone through to pinpoint yet. Let's see, there's something fishy here. I'll put a piece of tape there. Let's see, that's really correcting that nice right there. So it feels good there. I think I want to fill a little more right here and shape that, and then there's a ridge right there. And then there's a high spot right here, and a high spot right there. But this is almost blended. That is starting to feel pretty good. So I'm going to go ahead and mark these, and then I'm going to do my first knockdown on this coat. This obviously is the whitest coat we've done so far. Every time I'm doing this, you know, so remember the first time I did a little here, and then I went like that, and I keep sanding. So this hopefully is as far out as I've got to go. We'll find out. This is feeling pretty good. That feels good. You see scratches here, and you see pits, but you can't feel them. So, not sure what that's all about. I haven't done anything since the last time we did that. And, you know, a little bit here and a little bit here. I'd like to get the whole of the quarters done today, if at all possible. Okay, so I've got that sanded down. And it's feeling really nice. I like the shape. Not feeling anything weird, but more importantly, as I come across, it doesn't feel weird. So, gotta bring the car back down. Remember, I put some putty up here. So, I think we're starting to get there on this one. Got one more spot I'm unhappy with. There's like a divot right here. So I've got to fill that. Everything else down this whole length feels pretty nice. And this really feels really nice. Pretty happy with the transition. And I know you can see a line here, but you sure can't feel it. So I'm sure that's just the, well, kind of like this line, you can't feel it. So it must be the different chemicals curing. And that feels pretty good. So I've got that one fill to do. I haven't sanded over here in a while, so you can see I've got some buildup. So I'm going to come over, knock this down, and I'm going to take a little break. Okay, went in and had a little supper with my lovely wife. And just before that, I threw a skim in a few spots. This mostly because there was a whole series of pinholes here. And right here, you know, I got a tape marking that. Oh, I missed that one. Okay, well, that's not the end of that. And a little here and a little here. So let me get those sanded down and see what's left on this quarter and that quarter. I'm hoping they're getting really close. Okay, I've got to do some cleanup here, some vacuuming and cleaning off my sandpaper. But you can see we're getting there. I don't have too many more pins I want to fill. So I'm sure it doesn't look right on the camera, but we've been working. Remember, I was gonna shift that line a little bit. I don't know if you noticed. It's subtle. Didn't have to add much. The problem is you got to add it a long way to change that. Same back here. And on this side, you can see we got the same thing going. I've got a little more filling to do right in here because the line kind of moves up for some reason. And that's weird because I haven't actually worked here yet. So I'm going to have to put tape across my line and actually bring some filler up from the bottom, I think. I'm only doing it like 2 tape thicknesses thick. And then, you know, when you sand it off, it doesn't look like very much. But look at that. It's flat now. So we're getting that. I've got quite a bit of cleanup to do here. Getting pretty happy here. I think I'm pretty close. Next time the door's open, I've got some overage I got to clean out. But this is really smoothed out. I know it doesn't look pretty, but it feels nice. You know, all through here, that all feels pretty good. You can see it actually took, okay, well, let's count our rings. 1, 2, 3, well, I know there was a 4, okay, and 4. So 1, 2, 3, and 4 layers. But now, because this, it doesn't have a bubble like you would think. It comes out and then kind of goes flattish and then down in here. So it's weird. So that's been difficult to replicate. But you can see we're getting there. I'm real happy here. And that's all dented because, well, you know, you kick something up off the road. And it looks like so much filler, but it is so thin. You know, you just keep feathering it out wider and wider until it disappears. So, in fact, I've even started working up in here. So you can see, trying to get the header and the valence. I did find a ding here that I didn't even know was there. And I've got, this is pretty decent. Same on this side. And I don't know, if you're new to the channel, you don't know that the whole front of these brand new fenders had to be cut apart and redone by someone who doesn't know what he's doing. So there was a lot of work into getting those to fit correctly. And I even tried to replace the header and the valence, but the aftermarket stuff was just absolutely, I couldn't even see a way to work it. So we've been repairing the factory stuff, and it's getting there. The hardest part is this front edge had so many dings in it, and because of the way the metal is folded, it was a little difficult for me. But we're getting there. This is all going to line up. And then, of course, don't forget the bumper's going to hide all that anyway. But, you know, if you don't fix the things people can't see, how good a job are you going to do on the things they can see? And then, you know, this is another area where I had to cut and shape that because these came flat. And, you know, they're not supposed to be. So, aftermarket garbage, it really is garbage. So, yeah. This is really actually coming along pretty decent. I'm real happy here. See, remember what we were talking about? So it coats and then it wastes, comes to a point, and then comes back out. So I don't think I can really show how that looks. You would think it would just be one arc, but it isn't. So that's what I've had a hard time replicating over here. And I may find that I need to do a little more material here. It feels pretty good though. I haven't figured out how to make it reflective enough for me to look at it. But, you know, I'm sure Heartland knows. And like I said, except for right here, I'm pretty happy with this body line now. That's getting really, really close. And apparently I spilled some solvent there. And, you know, not much you can do about that. I haven't really done anything more on the hood since the last time it was up. Oh my God, that's like 12 hours ago. So, all right, let me get to vacuuming. Okay, I'm waiting on a little more putty to cure. And that's going to be the last one for tonight. So I got a couple little spots that I wanted to touch up. I found some checkering in here that I didn't like. Also, when the car was up, I noticed some dings here. And I found 2 dings here, 1 here, and I went ahead and recoated that, and I'll sand it back down. When that's all done, I'll shoot clothes out and go to bed. Okay, it's late, I'm tired. That was a long day. Car's drying, I just wiped her down, get some dust off. There's not much left in the back, I think. I think I'm pretty good there. Everything looks pretty reasonable. Obviously, I still got to do the hood and all that. You know, 3 things at a time. And I don't know how I forgot them. Hopefully you can see them, but there's 3 dimples right there from when I was rebuilding all of that. And I guess this being there, I completely forgot about them. So I'll have to fill those. They're not very deep. They won't take very long or very much material. It's always weird because you see these lines, but then you can't feel them. So something filled something. But yeah, so there's that. That is a day of filling and sanding and filling and sanding. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. I will try to get this up tonight for tomorrow release, but no guarantees.